Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. And you know, this is part 2. Now, is your zodiac sign about that life? Now, this one right now, we ended off with Cancer, and we starting on the motherfucking Leo right now. So let's go on, let's get down with it. Is your zodiac sign about that life? Loyalty. So now you know, okay, Leo, let's talk about it, let's think about it, let's break it down. Okay, Leo rules the 5th house, the expression house, the entertainment house, you know what I'm saying, the creativity house, the children house, you know what I'm saying? The sun loves being here. The sun is home. What's the sun? Your actions and the way you act. You know what I'm saying? Your vitality, your energy. So we know Leos like actions of acting out in expressions. They like acting out expressions. We know Leos has to express themselves, whether it's creativity wise or feeling wise or whatever like that, or emotionally. Leos have to express themselves. Now, what's fire? Fire is the seer and the filler. Now we know, by it being a seer and a filler, by it being fixed, it's fixed, seer, and a filler. So what's fixed? Fixed is being fixated on its own way of, in this case, seeing something or feeling a certain way. All fixed signs, like earth signs. We know earth is the thinker and the practicality. So a fixed earth, which is Taurus, will be a person that's fixated on their own practicality and thinking. A fixed air is Aquarius. A person that's a fixed air will be fixated on their own thinking and communication. You know what I'm saying? A fixed water is Scorpio. A fixed water will be fixated on their own emotions and feelings. Now in this case, when we get to fire, this is the seeing and feelings. Seeing, your visions, how you see things, whatever like that. So we know Leos can be a little stubborn. They can have their own way of seeing things. They may not understand or want to see things the way you see it. They may be demanding and try to put their perception onto you. This is why a lot of Leos become preachy like Sagittarius sometimes. But just due to the expression side of things, not as far as the knowledge side of things. The expression of the spirituality, not the knowledge of the spirituality, or not the out there go for it new way of looking at spirituality, like Aries. It got its own way of seeing it, its own way of visualizing things. So it's gonna be like that into every situation that it's in, basically. Leo's gonna have their own way of seeing it. So as far as relationships or anything like that, they have their own way of seeing it. So if they see you part of their kingdom, then that's the way they're going to see their expression. And you're going to be part of their expression. If they don't see you part of it, then they're going to express that. They're going to not want you along for the ride, or not want you around a lot of times, or not want you a part of what they have, or part of the pack that they try to lead. Now, when we get to what's away here? Now, what's away here is Uranus and Saturn. So Uranus and Saturn is at work. So we know Uranus is change, rebellion, but it's also uniqueness and originality. And we know Saturn is how one builds structure in one's life. But we also know Saturn is where a person put boundaries and restrictions and limits on, or they may experience boundaries and restrictions and limits in their life in certain areas. So we know that's what Saturn represents. So as a basic archetype for Leos, Leos has to, like I said, when a planet is away, I like to say is at work. It's at a place that it doesn't want to be, but it has to use the tools that it has in order to get the job done. So with Uranus and Saturn being at work, this Leo as a basic archetype as being here, Leos have to work on being unique and not showing the expression of others that they may be involved with, or having their own way of seeing something to the point that they can't see another person's point of view of the way of expression. You know what I'm saying? Leos have to work on gaining stability in their life. They have to work on putting boundaries and restrictions and limits on what they can do and what they cannot do. See, a lot of times Leos think they can do more than what they can do, and sometimes you have them timid Leos who don't do or act in the full expression of what they truly can do, before they can reach the full potential of it. You know what I'm saying? They get a little lazy also. You know what I'm saying? Which you got the L word attached to it. All L, Libras, Leos. You know what I'm saying? They all got the lazy, the decidual L. It got that attached to it. So they may experience this lying. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way as Sagittarius and Scorpios. Regardless, by nature, they're going to experience energy sigils of secrecy. You know what I'm saying? Being snaky. You know what I'm saying? Being sarcastic. You know what I'm saying? Sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Holding a lot of sorrow within. But that's another video. But when we get to as far as is Leo about that life. Now, like we said, Saturn and Uranus is at work. So Leos have to work on gaining stability in their life. But they also have to work on putting boundaries and restrictions over what they can and what they can't do. You know what I'm saying? You can't be there for everybody, and you can't expect everybody to be there for you. Now, also, a lot of Leos have to work on change. A lot of times they don't like change because it's a fixed sign. And since Uranus is at work here, Uranus is the planet of change and rebellion, and also uniqueness and originality. Now, since those planets is at work in Leo, even if a person don't have Saturn in Leo or Uranus in Leo, just this what creates the basic archetype of Leo. So Leo, most Leos have to work on changes in their life. Have to learn how to accept changes within friends, situations, or authority, or whatever like that. You have to learn how to adapt more to that. And also you have to work on rebelling against views that's going against you and views that's going against others. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you may have your own point of view. You may want to be center stage, but sometimes you have to know how to engage. Because you have a relatable way of engaging, but at the same time, like I said, the sun is here. The sun is so the sun is home. So ego is home. Pride is home. So pride do what it wants to when it wants to. Ego do what it wants to when it wants to here. You know what I'm saying? So it can pop out at times and sometimes it can't. So this makes you moody a lot of times also. So as Leo's about that life, loyalty, I say yeah. This is one of the fire signs. This is probably the only, but I'm not gonna say that yet until we get to the Sagittarius. But Leo is definitely about that life. Yeah, they can be loyal. They can be loyal, loving, lavish living. Hold on 1 second. Oh, light went out. It blew. Lavish living. You know what I'm saying? So I need to get into some light. Sorry about this, y'all. But you know, a lot of them L sigils attached to this. You know what I'm saying? It's what makes it kind of powerful in a lot of ways. So yeah, Leo. I say Leos. Yeah, they definitely about that motherfucking life. You know, because they can stick to something and they can have enough passion to stick to one thing because they can be fixated on one type of situation or one type of outlook or one type of vision. And if they see you in that, they may not see it another way. They don't even know how to see it without you in the picture with them. So yeah, Leo's definitely about that motherfucking life. Now, what else about that motherfucking life? You already know. No, now, is y'all about that motherfucking life? Virgos, y'all about that motherfucking life? I don't know yet. I don't know. We don't know yet. Let's break it motherfucking down. Let's break it motherfucking down. Alright, you got motherfucking Merc here, right? So you gonna think. You gonna communicate. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna think, you're gonna construct. You know what I'm saying? And it's Earth. So you know what I'm saying? It's like practicality, right? It's practicality and it's the thinking. So you know what I'm saying? But it's mutable. So it changed and it's adaptable. You know what I'm saying? It switch up and you know what I'm saying, look towards other ways and do other shits, and you know what I'm saying? It look at other realms, and I'm saying other perceptions, you know what I'm saying, and other people's ways of practicality and thinking. You know what I'm saying? So off the bat, it's looking at the details. It's being cynical. It's being critical. It's seeing if things gonna work, how it works, if it would work, when it would work. You know what I'm saying? It's looking at these type of things, right? Let's get into what else. What falls here? Motherfucking Venus. So like, it falls here. So like this is what this and Aries share. You know what I'm saying? Because the motherfucker, the Venus falls here. It's Scorpio. It falls here. You know what I'm saying? It just here. It falls. It's sleep. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when we talk about when things are asleep, when things are asleep, it's in another motherfucking realm. Like, it's in another fucking realm of reality. It's in another perception. It's in seeing things that it may not, that you can't see, and they think you can do things that you can't do. A lot of things, this, that, and the third. So what is Venus? Love, appreciation, how you value things. You know what I'm saying? How you relate to others, right? So right here, when Venus is asleep, a lot of times Virgos may create the construct of how they think they should relate to people. So a lot of times they think they should relate to people by helping, by seeing what can work in someone else's life, by seeing how they can apply themselves to be an asset and not a liability. Now, on the flip side of things, right? When it comes to love, Venus don't necessarily know Virgos don't necessarily know the construct of love. Like, they don't basically, because like I said, Venus is sleep here. So Venus is like is sleep. So it's not even doing what it usually do if it was woke, or it's not even going to work. It's sleep. So it's having dreams and stuff like that, having illusions of the archetype it's in, which is love, appreciation, how you relate, and how you value. You know what I'm saying? So Virgos as a whole, and then Virgo rules the 6th house also. So it's like work, health, things you do on a day-to-day basis, things you do on a day-to-day routine. So things that go up under that is like planning, dating, orchestrating, organizing. You know what I'm saying? To be set up, things to be set up, remembering times and stuff like that. So that's what Virgo want to do. But with the lack of Venus right here, when Venus sleep, sometimes Virgo's going to feel unappreciated. And they're going to overly feel like they have to overly show appreciation for certain things that might not be good in their nature. And they think they may be trying to show an expression of help or something like that, but when they don't get that in return, that's when they learn that they was directing their energy into the wrong place. Also, when it comes to relating and appreciating and valuing things, Virgos may not value the things that normal zodiacs may choose to value. Like when it comes to relationships and friendships and stuff like that, Virgos take this to the heart. See, Venus is asleep here. So when Venus is having a dream about stuff like love and appreciation and how to value and how to appreciate people, it's going to be in its own world of it and not reality. So Virgo they're kind of in their own world when it comes to relating and appreciating people. You know what I'm saying? So that could trickle down into situations like you may try to manipulate people or use people or be as a benefit, act like a help, but use that person as a benefit to whatever you had going on. So you could watch that too, like, you know what I'm saying, to the point that you may start seeming clingy or start seeming emotional or moody like your fellow sextile Cancer, but you don't necessarily see it this way. You don't actually have the emotions there to feel a certain way, how other people may have see you, like Cancers may be able to see you. In your case, you will show a moodiness and not care about other people's moodiness. So you're kind of like detached, but at the same time only concerned about your way. But when you start to see other people's emotions and feelings, you practicalize it and see what's real and what's not, other than feeling what that person actually feels. And the only way you feel like you can help is by practicalizing their situation and making sense out of their situation. So also, you know, with the Virgo archetype right here, this is, like we said, this is mutable Earth. So it's going to adapt. It's going to be able to change. It's going to be able to see other people's perception on practicality and thinking. You know what I'm saying? So is Virgos about that life? Loyalty. See, the Mercury effect makes this like Gemini. So this is kind of I don't know, another I don't know. You know why? Because the Gemini, I don't know, we know that's the two people, so they can have two different perceptions of the situation they in. But when Mercury comes into the earth side of Mercury, which is the fast-paced thinking and analytical practicality side of life, Virgos only could be loyal to a plan, loyal to a job, loyal to a goal, loyal to a type of working constant, something you can see something grow from. If it's just something out of pure aspiration and pure faith or pure right brain things, Virgo is not going to be loyal to that. So depending on how that Virgo is raised or what kind of life situations it's in, that's going to depend on if that Virgo is a loyal Virgo or not. Because if they was raised up under situations where it's a lot of loyalness going on, then they're going to grow up thinking that's the practical thing to go about these situations. So that's when they may create illusions around that. Now, if they're around a bunch of broken homes and a bunch of stuff like that, like a lot of Virgos are, just by nature, then it's gonna play out in ways where this person is not gonna be able to experience Venus. It's like Venus in nightmares instead of Venus and like, that's what I'm saying. When Venus sleep in here, it's like you can either have Venus nightmares or Venus beautiful dreams. A Venus beautiful dream is being an asset, not a liability, working towards something, getting things done, plans going straight. Boom. That's Venus being in heaven when it's and having a good ass dream when it's sleep, when it's in Virgo. But you could be the person that's on the opposite. You could have Venus nightmares, which is nothing's going right, no stability around you, a lot of changes going on in your life, feeling unappreciated, not feeling loved. You know what I'm saying? Not feeling value, not having a value, not having anything to offer to others, and becoming a liability instead of an asset. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the nightmare of Venus when it's sleep, because it falls in Virgo. So our Virgo's about that life. It's the same with Gemini because of that little Mercury factor. It's so fast, it could be here and here. So if you're a Virgo or a Gemini, you decide. But y'all gonna be the only ones. Now, let's get into the next one. Libra. Libra is about that life. Now, I want to say Libra's created the term loyalty, but Leo's created the term loyalty. Just go watch a few lying videos on the internet or something like that. You know what I mean. Now, when we get to Libras, they might have created the word lying. Say no, but I'm just playing with y'all motherfuckers. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Y'all might have created the term love though. For real though. Like, let's get serious. Like, y'all might have created the term love. Now, this is the communication side of Venus. Like I talked about in the last video, Earth, Taurus was the practicality and thinking of Venus. Now, in air, cardinal air, which is Libra, this is the thinking and the communication of Venus. So like I said, the difference between Taurus and Libras is Libras can tell you they love you better than show you, which they may fall short at times. And Tauruses can show you they love you better than they can tell you, which sometimes they may fall short. So when we go here, let's talk about it. It's Libra's about this life. Let's talk about it. Now, Libra ruled the 7th house, which is the relating house, the relationship house. The relationship amongst everything. People, places, movies, entertainment, how you relate to everything. That's the 7th house. So Libra rules this house. Libra is cardinal. What is cardinal? It initiates, create newness. What is air? Air is communication and the thinking. So we know Libras are on Earth to initiate new ways of communicating and thinking. So when you initiate a new way of communicating and thinking, to communicate is to relate to someone. So this is why Libras love relationships, because they love forms of relating, because they create new ways of relating to people. Now, this is the sign of also balance, the sign of justice, the sign of legal, the sign of love, the sign of it can be lazy at times, and it can lie at times, but for the most part, they're the law. You know what I'm saying? Libras is like the law. You know what I'm saying? Where Aries may go too far, Libra is the one that's telling you can't go that far. This is the law. Now, where Libra may stay on the law too much, that's where Aries is like, okay, everything is not constructed under this plan. Sometimes you have to just go for it. So that's the little basic archetype structure there. Now, Mars is at work here. Mars is away. So Mars is at work. So Mars is, like I said, is at a place that it has to just utilize the tools that it has just to get the job done. But it's at a place it really don't want to be. So in this lifetime, Libras they have to work on having intentions. They have to work on having passion for certain things. Like a lot of times they may start things but don't have enough passion to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Libras in this lifetime has to work on having desires, and not like real desires for themselves, and not just desires for themselves and others. You know what I'm saying? They have to work on having real desires for themselves and not put themselves first at times. Also, Saturn is exalted here. So Saturn is how one builds structure in one life, but it's also where one set boundaries and restrictions and limits at. So Saturn is like if Saturn was a kid, it's at Disneyland in Libra. So Saturn gets to build boundaries and restrictions and limits on their own construct of their life, and able to separate the communication with their practicality of their life. So this is what makes Libras goal orientated. This is what makes them want to conversate about things that they can get into and do with other people. This is what makes them want to relate and build, keyword, build with people. Build relationships with people. Build communications with people. Build understandings with people on a one-on-one basis, to the point that when it is a group situation, like if we step into the 11th house in the Aquarius archetype, the Libra know how to have a one-on-one relationship with each one of those people, to the point that when there is in a group situation, the Libra can lead. You know what I'm saying? The Aquarius is more good at creating the situation of the organized groupings. You know what I'm saying? And Gemini is more like the information and the lone wolf by itself, giving everybody information and receiving information. Libra is going to be the leader, which is because it's cardinal, and it's going to initiate and create the newness in the situations of the air signs, which is as far as communications and the way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? So it's the one that's keeping everybody together because it has a one-on-one relationship with everybody. Aquarius is the one that controls the organization as a whole because it has his own fixed outlook on what's the goal should be. And the Gemini is giving information and receiving information within the whole process, so the ball can continue rolling. Now, Libras. Now, all right, the sun falls here. So the sun is asleep. So what is the sun? Your actions, the way you act, your vitality, your energy. So like I said, when you sleep, you dream. You're in a dream world. You're in a dream state. You see things other people don't see. You think you do things that you can't normally do, and you think you can't do things you normally do. You can have a nightmare of that planet, or you could be in a process of having beautiful dreams of that planet. So how this plays out in Libra. Now Libra, when the sun falls here, this makes a person not sure on what to act on, not sure on what kind of actions to take. So a lot of times in the basic Libra archetype, a lot of time Libras need to see examples from other people in order to know how to do things. So a lot of times a Libra may mimic others, or may want to be next or side by side to another due to a certain time in their life, so they can build and understand how to go on and move on to the next person and build enough knowledge from that person to get a self-awareness. And Libras love to do things with other people. Now, because especially another person who can act out the qualities that Libra feel like they don't necessarily can fulfill. You know what I'm saying? That person makes the Libra feel like they're balanced. That person makes the Libra feel like they're complete. You know what I'm saying? Now, also right here with the sun. Now, as far as actions and the way you act is sleep. So when that part of life is sleep to you, a lot of times, for lack of actions, you may fulfill that with communication. So you may talk a lot more than doing. and then you may communicate a lot more than acting. So a lot of times on the beautiful dream side of it, you can talk yourself into a situation and don't have to take as many actions as per se an Aries has to take. A lot of people don't have to see you stumble and fall as much as an Aries because you have received enough information, talked to enough people to get it right the first time. Man, it took you a lot longer, but at the same time, you got into the situation with less actions and more communication. So you just fell into the right place, right time, met the right person, had the right whatever, like that. Boom. Now, on the flip side of things, the nightmare. The nightmare is you could do too much talking to the point you procrastinate and not take any action towards anything. And then that's what you can learn from the Aries. Because the Aries is going to come in and tell you and show you like, man, you do too much talking. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to sit here and think about it all day and you ain't going to never get it done. Or you got a creative passion, whatever like that. Let's do it. Let's put it into, let's express it. We can't talk about it and analyze it. Let's feel it and express it. So that's what Aries is going to teach the Libra. So, you know, with the sun being asleep here, Libra could overexalt each one of these because that'd be the nightmare. That it has to do everything by itself. It has to do everything and show itself and express itself and go here and do this and that and be isolated. Then the beautiful dream of the sun being a Libra is the spotlight is on you because you give the spotlight to everybody. So everybody wants you around. Everybody's relatable. Everything's in harmony. Everybody get to see